Now, I'm going to describe meditation in a way which is not at all scientifically based, because meditation is something that you do with your mind. Have you ever seen a mind? No. You all have one. How do you know? You think, you feel, but it is so subtle. Obviously, when you have a thought, there is an effect of that on the brain, but the brain doesn't produce thoughts. The mind produces thought. Have you ever seen a thought? No. But it is said that a thought is as powerful as an atom bomb. So what we're doing in meditation is we're moving to a dimension of human activity that is non-physical. So set aside everything you know about science and physical things for this. We're going to be simply using thought. And the mind does not distinguish between positive and negative. It makes no distinction. If I tell you, do not think about a green apple, what happens? You think about a green apple. If I tell you, think about a green apple, you think about a green apple. Any instruction you tell someone to not do, they will do it. So there's no point in saying, don't do this, because the mind will start thinking about doing it. If a light switch is turned off, it turns off. Turn on, it turns on. The mind doesn't do that. Any suggestion you give the mind, or any suggestion you tell the mind not to do, doesn't make any difference. So in that case, you might as well use positive expressions. If I tell you to think, I am not this body, you will think about your body. Is that right? But you will still think, okay, how will I think about not being this body? It's very difficult. Now, in meditation, what we call Raj Yoga meditation, we're using thoughts. And in a minute, I'm going to ask the brothers to give us some very gentle music, because that also is soothing for the mind. And it helps the mind to go in the general direction of meditation. So we use that. Anything that helps, we'll do it. It's a matter of putting certain thoughts into your mind, because your mind is like a sense organ. It cannot sense the things that you sense with your eyes, your ears, your nose, your tongue, your skin. But your mind can sense the meaning of ideas. Your mind can sense atmosphere, vibration. You may go into a place and say, oh, it feels good here. It feels peaceful here. It feels spooky here. That means your mind, independently of your brain, independently of your sense organs, feels subtle things. So we're going to use that capacity of the mind for meditation. Meditation, as we do it here in Raj Yoga, takes you away from the dimension of the material world, the everyday world. The human body, with its sense organs, uses technology to extend your sense perception so that you can detect X-rays, gamma rays, but not with your eyes, but with your technical machines. But you can't detect love with a machine. It's out of range. But your mind will be able to tell you if someone loves you or if they don't really love you. Is that right? That sense sometimes is called the sixth sense. And we're going to use this sense for meditation. Now we also use our intellectual capacity. Our intellectual capacity gives us the ability to conceptualize an idea that is non-material. For example, zero. It is nothing, but it's something which is not there. But you can conceptualize it with your intellect, correct? If you couldn't do it, you wouldn't be in your profession. So we're going to use the capacity of the intellect to conceptualize non-material realities, and we're going to use the capacity of the mind to perceive non-material realities. And the combination of your intellectual capacity and your mind to perceive something from both angles gives you a depth of knowing. And that depth of knowing can sometimes be called to realize it. You can feel it, you can comprehend it, you know it. So we're going to use these capabilities of consciousness. One of you asked a question earlier of Balakishore. That is, meditation focus on a single object? Well, it is, but not a physical object. Not a project, not a candle, a flame, something like this. It is a single-minded focus on a non-material being. So you can understand it's a little bit subtle. So I'm going to just carry you through some thoughts. Very slowly I will speak. And while I do that, I would like you to try to feel what I'm saying, to piggyback on the words, because these are very specifically directed thoughts designed to enable you to experience what that idea feels like and what it means. Do you understand? So shall we do that? Probably something like 10-12 minutes. Is that okay? So we'll put red lights on That's our practice. And we'll have some gentle music. Keep your eyes open, because your mind and your intellect are more focused when your eyes are open. And behind me, you see a very small point of light. If you rest your eyes on that light, that will also help you to be focused. Om Shanti. Sit straight, balanced, so you don't feel any tension, don't have any objects on your lap. And first of all, just feel the sense of yourself throughout your body. You can feel your feet, your legs, your arms, your chest, your belly, your head. You can feel the temperature of the room. So you're totally aware of the physical dimension. And then using your mind, draw the energy of your being upwards from your toes and your fingers. Let yourself feel the energy of your being focusing, rising and focusing. Your whole energy rises through the center of your body. And let your sense of self rest in your third eye point, the center of the forehead. So your energy is very focused, turned within. And consider yourself to be compressed into an extremely tiny point of light, like a shining white star in the center of the forehead. So that you feel a separation between the light of your concentrated being and the shell of your physical body. Your body is an instrument. Made of flesh and bones, organs. It is a physical object. And you, the energy within, you give it life. If you would not be there, it would be a corpse. You are there, so it is living. Try to be very deep within and feel your actual self, a being of light. A thinking, feeling energy that is living. It is this which makes your body alive. Like a kind of conscious electrical charge which operates the body through the nervous system. Now focus yourself as a tiny point, and with your thought, carry yourself above your body, as if you are floating above it. Your body is sitting in the chair, and you are hovering above it. You could almost look down and see your body sitting there. And realize that I am me, the self, the spirit, and this is my body, my instrument. And let yourself fly a little higher. Allow yourself to feel that you are entering a different dimension. Beyond the physical, there is another dimension of light, and you can enter that dimension with your mind. That dimension is like space. So you let yourself fly way up above the sky. Let yourself be in the night sky with the stars. And then you can cross into a different space, which is only light. This is where beings originate. It is a place of silence, peace, stillness. And in that space is an extraordinary source of energy, a power which radiates the most beautiful light. Allow your mind to go close to that light. Allow yourself to feel pure love, like waves of very gentle, loving feeling. And waves of light reaching you. Allow yourself to connect with that light and draw power into yourself. Draw peace into yourself. Feel that your spirit is getting filled with light, with power, with gentle, peaceful love. Feel every part of your being getting recharged. All parts of your consciousness getting aligned, harmonized, made beautiful, serene, clear. And just allow yourself to float and soak that light into yourself. And then very gently allow yourself to float back down through that space of light, through the dimension of physical space, back into this room. Reconnect with your body and let that energy fill each and every cell, each and every nerve. Let everything be full of light, peace, love, gentleness, peace. And you are once again in the everyday world. Om Shanti. So this is a mind journey, using your thought, very focused, using very specific thoughts in a stream. Go there, fill up, come back. Because the spirit is quite depleted, quite much running on empty. Your battery needs to be charged. And when you do this a few times, you get familiar with it, you get a little comfortable, a little skilled. and then you take it further and further. Could you feel something happening for you? Anyone? Yes? Good. It's all about the mind. The mind is not limited to here. It's the only thing we have that can take us beyond to a source which is beyond this earth, but which is the power that actually runs the living beings, the life on this earth. And we, human beings, have a right to that. And so that is really what meditation is about. So do you think you could replicate that for yourself? When you go home, find a nice quiet place, put on some nice music, and practice withdrawing from the body, going beyond, filling up from that beautiful light, and then coming back down again. And then you're ready to go. So you would never be comfortable with a discharged mobile phone, would you? So we also need to charge our soul, because life is about relationships. How many of you are slightly disappointed with your relationships? A few of you. And part of it is because you're a little spiritually empty, and they are also. And we try to fill from each other, but it's not enough, Fill from this source, and you will find that your level of personal power systematically gets increased, and this makes a huge difference to the quality of your life. So of course in a few minutes we can only tell you a little bit, but just enough to get you going. So thank you very much for your kind attention, and Om Shanti. Well, I think you have to work up to it. What we did just now was give or take about 10 minutes. That's not bad, When you do this Raj Yoga as a serious practice, we do about 45 minutes, 1 hour, very early morning. It's really quiet. And then we have a class all together. We do about another half an hour. Do another half an hour in the evening, maybe another half an hour. Do a few, 2-3 minutes time to time, just to, keep yourself charged up, because you start to create a radiant effect, and you want to keep it up because you're taking energy, using it. And the idea is to take more than you use, so that your overall amount is increasing. Yeah? You had a question? Yes, that's what happens. There are obstacles. So what you do with those thoughts is you tell them, you sit down, not you, but you tell your thoughts. Tell those thoughts. You sit down, I'm meditating now, I'll see you in 10 minutes. It's the same as if a person comes to see you and you're busy doing something, you say, just wait, I'll be with you in a few minutes. You can actually do that with those thoughts that you're not wanting to deal with right now. Because you know what you have to do, but it doesn't have to invade your space. You say, I know, I've got to do that. I'll see you in a minute. Now I'm meditating. Be quiet. Sit down. Tell that to your mind, please. Yes. I'll repeat the question. Sister is saying that when she practices at home, she feels sleepy. Now, what happens with you is you are operating under stress all the time. Is that right? And so as soon as you start meditating, you're relieving that obligation that you're giving yourself to push. And you are deeply exhausted. And so the one thing your body wants is a rest. You actually have to have a lot of energy to go into meditation, because imagine you've seen rockets being sent up into space. They usually have 3 stages, and the bottom one is the biggest because it's full of jet fuel, and you need that to get out of the gravitational field of the earth. And in meditation, you also need to come out of the gravitational pull of worldly ties, worldly obligations, worldly things that hold us down. It's a kind of gravity. So you need energy to come up. So this is why also it's useful to have meditation practice in a big gathering, because there's a lot of people here in this complex who do a lot of meditating, and so it creates an energy field that you can actually use to help you to get up there. And so to take that boost as well is valuable. And then to be able to do your own, on your own power, that comes as you become stronger. So what you're experiencing is perfectly normal, but take advantage of some of these arrangements here to get you off the ground, as it were. Yeah, please. I don't know how much time we can have for questions. Okay, last question. You know, if you have particular times for meditation, it enables you to ensure that it gets done. And when you're working on your computers are throwing radiation at you all day long. And that is weakening your body and your brain and your eyesight. But you do it anyway. We also work pretty hard. We do about 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 50 years. And we can manage it because of this continual resourcing of the self, you see, and because of putting brakes in so that you never let yourself get depleted. And we have quite a lot of IT professionals who also meditate with Raj Yoga, and they use it to balance this very high professional demand with taking care of the self, so that it can actually make your life a lot better than sometimes you have to just struggle, and your body is going to suffer in that struggle.